Hello, everyone. Hello, our viewers. We are here for an interview with my former student, Jorge. Hi, Jorge. How are you today?
Hey, I'm fine, thank you. How are you?
I'm very fine, George. I'm very glad to have you here for this interview. Listen, to our viewers, I would like to tell them that he has been one of the most remarkable students I ever had. He
Oh,
was
thank you.
very good in English, and now he has had the experience on of living in the United States. George, can you tell us more about how has been your experience living in the United States and how did learning English at school has helped you to like have a nice experience over there?
Yeah, sure. So I went to live in Franklin, Tennessee, in the U.S. 2 years ago. I started high school over there. It was my freshman year, and I lived there for 2 years. Now I'm back in Mexico, and I'm probably going over there again for college. I'm trying to go to MIT in Boston. Um, it was actually super useful to know English beforehand, moving over there, because, obviously everything over there is in English, and especially in Tennessee, where it's like a mostly white people uh, state. Well, you have to know English to like be able to communicate with each other, and especially for a school, because most students don't know Spanish or other language rather than English. So learning it with you and in the Fresnos throughout all my life, it was super useful. Yeah.
Yes, so when you got to the States, you didn't have any problems to start talking to people.
Well, the only like limiting factor was my accent, because, well, especially when you are from Mexico or from a country where you speak a foreign language, your accent is super different from American people. So for some of them, it's hard to understand you because of how you move your tongue and your mouth. It's like you create a different sound for words that they're not super used to. So after a while, you get used to the accent, or they get used to your accent, and you like start catching up with theirs. So it becomes easier to communicate with them.
All right. So let's think about this. If someone wants to go to United States, let's think
Mhm.
about this. It's the first time they go over there. I understand what you mean because for my viewers, I would like to tell them that I have been in the United States. I used to study there for like almost 2 years. But you, can you give us like a tip for the ones who go to United States for the first time and they want to try talking to Native Americans?
Yeah. Are you speaking ones who know English beforehand, or they like know English at all?
For the ones who already know,
Uh-huh.
but they haven't talked to a native person.
Okay. So first of all, you have to speak slower. That's the first thing, because we're used to speaking super fast, especially in Spanish, and they speak way slower. And if you try to speak fast, your accent is gonna get in the way, and they're probably not gonna understand what you're saying. So that's really important to speak slow, and even like try to almost. So when you get there, you kind of try to, at least it happened for me that I try to like keep my accent somehow, but after a while, I just like started catching their accent. So if you like try to start mimicking their accent, like since you since you start speaking to them, that's gonna make it way easier for you, because you're gonna like make sounds that they're more used to, and they're gonna understand you better. Yeah. So trying to speak fast, and also, downloading a translator is like fundamental. Like there are some slang and
Yes.
some words that they say, and you're probably not used to them. So a translator is super useful, especially because as you're not used to like having a conversation, like for example, getting a haircut was super hard on the first time, because like you almost know no vocabulary about getting a haircut. Like you don't learn that at school, right? So getting a translator, and like for example, I didn't know that trimming was like the word you say when you're getting like a little haircut. So yeah, so getting a translator is super useful. Um, yeah, I think that's also try to be patient. You're probably not gonna understand what some like ethnic groups are saying because they have different accents just like you. So for example, Indian people they speak super different and their accent is super hard, like super like marked. So it's super hard to understand them. Black people also they they speak very like they mumble a lot, so it's
Uh-huh.
super hard to understand. Yeah, Chinese people they speak super fast. That's why I'm saying that you have to slow down because Chinese people speak super fast and their accent is also like super harsh, so it's super hard to understand what they're saying. So yeah, like be patient, be mindful of that you're not gonna understand some of them, and try to get a person that is a Native American that can help you like communicate better or give you tips about how to do stuff over there. That's pretty useful. So get close to a Native American, like get a friend. When I moved there, I met my best friend actually the first day I moved to my the house I used to live. He was my next door neighbor, and it was super useful because we went to the same school. So he like introduced me to a bunch of people. I could hang with him at lunch, and it is hard because not only you're new to school, but you're new to the country, so you know nobody at all, like nobody. So that's hard. Um, Sometimes you feel lonely. Oh, that's also a really good tip. So when you move there, if you move there, you're gonna feel super like melancholic and you're gonna miss your country. So getting a friend over there and like being able to talk to him, well, in my case, he was him. So trying to get like a confident person and tell them how you feel about missing your country, being in a new place, trying to adapt as much as possible is a good tip. Trying to make as much friends as you can and try to live the experience at the best. Like don't be afraid to try new stuff just because you are like embarrassed or something. Just try it. I mean, it's a new place. Nobody knows you. You can be whoever you want to. You can meet a lot of new people, live a lot of new experiences. So yeah, that live your life the best you can. Yeah.
Yes, you gave us really nice tips, you know. Something else that I would like to ask you, can you tell us a little bit more about how the differences are between Mexican schools and American schools?
Well, actually, at least from my perspective in Los Fresnos, they're kind of similar, to be honest. Well, obviously it changes a lot because the schools there are way bigger. And well, I went to a public school, so there were 53 different nationalities in my school. So there's a lot of diversity. You meet a lot of new people from other countries. That's that's the thing I like the most. You meet like people from I don't know. I used to have friends from Italy, Spain, Denmark, Switzerland. Um, Nigeria. Yeah, like you meet people from all over the world. You know a lot of you start like knowing a lot of religions, different ideologies. That's pretty cool. Well, obviously well you take classes with a bunch of different people, and they don't have to be in your same year. I mean, I took classes as a freshman with seniors or with juniors. Like you don't have to be on the same. Oh, if you don't know that, so freshman is first year, sophomore second year, junior is third year,
Yes,
and
it's
senior is
good you
fourth year.
explain that to our viewers because they
Yeah,
maybe they have no idea about high school vocabulary.
yeah, that's new. So yeah, so that's how it goes. They're just like nicknames for the years. So as a freshman, it's um, it's pretty fun actually. Well, you're kind of like you get bullied by older people like from seniors and stuff.
Just like in the TV programs.
Yeah. Like the school I used to go to, it was exactly the same as a movie. It was a movie. Like the teachers were like the teachers in the movies. The white people were like the white, like football players were like football players. Cheerleaders were dumb. They were actually dumb. Like, well, not all of them, but some of them. There were like geeks, people that played cards. Yeah, like sports people. Black people were like ghetto. They have their slang. They speak different. They are super noisy. So that's one of the things I like the most about the U.S. and especially my school is that I got to know a lot of different ethnicities, nationalities, religions, ideologies. So that's pretty cool. Um, well, also schools over there are like have way better facilities. Like their facilities are incredible. Like in my school had a football field, a baseball field, a softball field. I had two soccer fields, five tennis courts, two gymnasiums for the basketball team, a theater. The cafeteria was huge. I think it had the capacity for like 500 people because my school was well, my school was in the suburbs, so it was not as big as a metro school, which is like a city, like a school in inner city, but it still had like 1,600 alumni. So yeah, it was pretty big. Um, well, I got to be in different like groups because, well, yeah, I actually first started in the basketball team, and I didn't like it because I don't know, I didn't like the coach and the players, so I got out. Then I started doing science club. I did also Mu Alpha Theta, which is like the National Honor Society for Math. I did choir. I did theater. So I'm telling you, the best thing you can do is like use all the like resources and tools you have over there and try to get the best out of them. So that's why I tried everything I could. I tried sports. I tried music, theater. I tried math, science, whatever. I was in a club called Latino Achievers, and yeah. So also one of the things that gives you like a lot of tools over there is that you can choose your own classes.
Hmm.
So well, I want to be a scientist, so I chose all my classes. Like the counselors over there, they help you like choose your classes so that you're on the path to get to where you want to be. So
According to your profile.
yeah, exactly. Yeah, not only your profile but your preferences. So as I want to be a astrophysicist, so I took math, science, physics, whatever. So yeah, they help you a lot, and they also have like help you. Well, if you get close to them, they're gonna be way more helpful. So that's another advice. Try to get as close as you can to your counselor because they're the ones that are gonna help you get into colleges. So that's super useful. Getting close to your teachers and your counselors, especially as a foreign student, because they're gonna help you a lot. Like my English teacher in my sophomore year, which is my second year of high school, helped me do my essays for applications for a summer program. I got in a university in the University of Tennessee. It was a full ride. So I paid nothing and I stayed at campus for a month. So that was pretty cool. And my teacher helped me do my essay for the application. So trying to get as close as your to your teacher as you can is super useful. Um, yeah, so I think that's most of what's different over there.
Well, George, let me tell you that everything that you said was really interesting. I think it's gonna be very useful so that our viewers can like figure out how things are in another country, right? Because
Yeah,
I remember that at the beginning, when you started to talk about United States and Mexico, you said that it was kind of the same. But as more you talk, the distance began to be
yeah,
like way too far, you know?
yeah. Like the differences are more in like the people and the society rather than the systems. Because like school, like my subjects, I knew some things. Like some things they were teaching me over there, I already knew because of I studied at Fresno. So actually, I was very lucky to be at Fresno because it was a super good school.
Hmm.
So this the actually I think school in the U.S. is easier
Hmm.
also,
I
oh, but
agree.
yeah, but there's also a difference though. In the U.S., there are three different types of classes. There are regular classes, which are called standard, which are for like the people that either they're not very good at school or they're not passionate about it or they just don't want to try. There are honors classes, which are like a little bit more advanced schools, um, which are kind of harder, but not really. Like like the bigger difference is the biggest difference is that you are with people that are actually interested in the subject rather than just like they need to take it. So it's better. And there's also AP classes, which are for me they're the best thing because they're college level classes, which give you actually college credits. So those classes are taught by like they are taught in campus by teachers over there, and when you're done with the course, you take an exam, which is the AP exam, and it's rated from 1 to 5. If you get a 5 in most schools, you don't have to take that subject in college. So that's
Yeah.
that's super useful.
So, in
Um,
short words, there are special classes for very intelligent students, just like Malcolm in the Middle.
yeah, exactly. Yeah, but like they're not obligatory or they do not like place you over there. You have to choose them by yourself. So, for example, I took AP psychology, which is not like related to what I want to study, but I was just super interested in that, and I just took it, and it was a pretty cool subject. Yeah, so I think that's the best thing. They're kind of harder, and they have a lot of content and homework, so you should not like. Well, I was gonna take 6 of them this year before I moved here, but then I had to move here again. So, well, if you get a lot of them, you're gonna get a whole lot of work, but it's worth it though because you get college credit and you get to like skip those subjects in college. So that's pretty
Okay,
useful.
George. Well, let me thank you because this interview was really nice. Is there some kind of closing message that you would like to give to our viewers? Most of them are from Fresno, let me tell you. So, is there something that you would like to tell them just to say goodbye?
Yeah, sure. So I miss you a lot. I haven't seen you in a while, but I hope I get to see you again. And it was super useful for me to like be in that school, meet a lot of people, and when you go to another country, try to live your experience at the best. Like try to get the most out of it. Like try to live everything you haven't done and try everything you can. Yeah, that's it.
That's an excellent tip, George. Thank you very much and see you in another interview someday.
Yeah, sure.
Goodbye.
Yeah, sure. Bye.
See you later.